Hi guys, and welcome back to Victori's Creations. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to solve the day-old problem of whose can belongs to who. And if you have kids and you have birthday parties where you buy the little pop cans, whether it's the caffeine free and the sugar free or the yoo-hoos in the cans, you know what I'm talking about. Kids get a can, they set it down on the table, and then they run off to go play. When they come back, nobody knows whose can is whose. We're going to solve that problem using koozies, or as some people like to call them, can coolers. I'm going to make some for my children and my grandchildren, personalized with their names on it, and we're going to solve the problem of whose can belongs to who and throwing away half empty cans because we don't know who they belong to. So if you're ready to see how to create sublimated personalized cozies and how to solve that day-old problem of whose can belongs to who, join me at my crafting table. We'll go over everything that you're going to need and then we'll get started. For today's project, you're going to need your heat press, self-healing mat, butcher paper, heat-resistant tape, scissors, rotary cutter, koozies, heat-resistant gloves, ruler, heat-resistant mat, and your images. Now that we have everything that we need, let's get crafting. The first thing we're going to want to do is cut out each one of these images. Now, I do these differently than I do the tumblers. On these, I'm going to cut them all the white completely off. And I'm going to use my straight ruler and my rotary cutter to accomplish this. Get the old ones out the way so you don't cut them on accident. And remember to hold down your ruler and your paper. If you have some white on the edges anywhere, you can either leave it there or you can take your scissors and trim it off. Because this is not getting tightly wrapped around the koozies, it doesn't matter if it has a little bit of white as long as your image is there. Before we sublimate our koozies, we need to get them prepped and ready to go. And the first thing you're going to do is take a lint roller, and I forgot to add this in the supply list. Take a lint roller, and you'll want to get any lint or loose hairs, if you have animals or anything like that, off. And you want to do this for each one. This can greatly affect your image. While I am lint rolling the last three, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my machine. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am now using the HTV Ront Auto Press. This will be my first time using it, so yay. I'm going to turn it on. I had already had it on at one point and set the temperature. The temperature has to be at 400 degrees for 40 seconds. So I'm just going to wait for that to warm back up. While it's warming back up, I will finish lint rolling. As soon as the machine gets heated back up, we are going to do a pre-press for 5 seconds. While I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and cut some butcher paper to slip in here so that this shouldn't melt together, but I'm more err on caution than, take a chance and see what happens kind of deal. Make sure the 4 was good. 4 inches is perfect. Now that I have them ready, I'm just going to slide this out. Check that out, guys. I won't be burning my fingers anymore, right? I'm going to, this actually came with a Teflon sheet, so I'm going to leave that there, but I'm going to do 4 at a time. Woo. I spoke too soon. That thing is hot. And because I have this timer set for 40 seconds, I will watch it. Once it hits 5, then I'll change it. These are, I probably should have put my gloves on because these are warmish. Y'all know I like to live dangerously with these things. I did not know it was going to go all the way down by itself. That is so cool. You'll want to let your koozies cool because, you know, heat is what activates the ink on the sublimation paper. So as soon as they start cooling off, we can start pressing. And I'm going to spread them out. And then we'll give it a couple minutes to cool off. Now that these are cool, we can start wrapping them. And the way I'm going to do it is to kind of center it up because I'm going to do it like a wrap. So where this line is and where this seam is, I'm going to try to get it about right. And then I'm just going to wrap it like a taco. Put that down. This one over top of it. Get our tape ready. Some of our tape didn't cut, and when that happens, I'll just take a pair of scissors and cut it myself. I'm going to tape, and I'm going to push it down so that it's kind of tight. I'm going to tape the ends. Do the other side as well. Now I'm going to go a step further because you know me, guys, I'm a little extra. And I'm going to put tape on the end because I see where it's open some. And I don't know if that will affect it or not, so we're going to find out. And it's wrapped. You also want to make sure that your image this is the top of the image. It should be on the top of the coaster. Not coaster. It should be on top of the koozie. This end does not want to be taped up. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, if part of the very bottom does not get sublimated, that's not really that big of a deal, simply because that's the bottom. That's where your Coke can is sitting on the table. Okay. I've got 4 wrapped. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to wrap 4 at one time. So I don't know if I'm going to have to flip it or if it will do both sides. But I do know you still have to use butcher paper. I don't know much about the Teflon paper, so I'm not using that. I use that just for the preheating. Butcher paper on the top and butcher paper on the bottom to make sure your inks don't go through. And while that is going, I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping these. Look at that, guys. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to stop what I was doing. Open it up. I'm going to check the bottom to see, do I need to flip it or is it okay? Where's my gloves? Let's use the gloves. Let's see. I can see that image pretty darn good on one side, but not on the other side. So I am going to flip it and do the other side. But I'm also going to change out my paper. Better safe than sorry on that one. There. All right. I love that feature. Not even gonna lie about it. The fact that I don't have to go running. Whew. This is why you're in a well ventilated area. That was a lot of steam coming off of there. Let's see how they look. Let's do a little peek test. A little bit of the seam is still white, but that's okay because it's like inside the seam. Guys, this is beautiful. Look at this. How stinking cute is that? This is where you can see in the light. That turned out good. This seam has got a little bit of white on the edge there. And this seam has got a little bit of white on the edge, and that's okay. Let's see, open it up, and there's a little bit of white, but like I said, this part, guys, is going to be at the very bottom. Like your can is going to be, it's going to look kind of like this. So that's what really matters. And we all know that when we put it like this, you can't really see those seams. So that is awesome. So let's go ahead and finish wrapping up the rest of these and getting them pressed, and I'll meet you back here. Well, I think that did it. I think I answered the question of whose can is it. Now, when we have our next birthday party, everyone will have their own koozies personalized with their name on it, and no one will have to worry about whose can belongs to who. And most importantly, we're not throwing away half empty cans, which is a waste of money. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and it has inspired you to create your own koozies or anything else that gets those creative juices flowing. And as always, remember, keep crafting your best life.